Hello and welcome to Startup Spotlight, the show where big ideas meet bold founders. This is where we uncover the game changers and visionaries, entrepreneurs shaping the future of businesses and innovation across Nigeria and beyond. My name is Glory Brown, and I'm so thrilled to have you join us for another inspiring episode. And today we're diving into the topic from courtroom to codroom, and we're using Case Radar, which is a startup, and we're going to see the startup journey in legal tech. Case Radar is a legal tech app powered by artificial intelligence designed to help lawyers enhance their law practice and for the general public to know the law. And to help us unpack all of these, I'm joined by co-founders of Case Radar, Agbo Obinnaya, who is an astute lawyer and serial entrepreneur with years of experience in the business sector, and also Anthony Mark Ngwu, who is a legal practitioner and co-founder of Case Radar. Welcome, guys, to Startup Spotlight. You guys are looking amazing. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much, Obinnaya. Let's quickly jump to the first question we have for you today. What inspired the creation of Case Radar? Because from your bio, I saw that you guys were lawyers. From law, you did a little bit of business entrepreneurship, and all of a sudden, you delved towards law, legal tech, an app called Case Radar. Can you please tell us what inspired you and how your journey started into creating these apps?
I met my co-founder in law school.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, and from there we've gone ahead to found a business called the Entrepreneurish Africa, and Keshada is our second startup. We had to move from that to this, and with the Entrepreneurish Africa, it helped us, explore a lot of business opportunities, go into tech majorly, work with different crypto companies abroad and even here in Nigeria, and this kind of gave us a lot of business experience. And being lawyers who also do a lot of legal research and all of that, we realized that in the course of doing our legal research, it takes a lot of time, and even though it takes a lot of time, the resources we need to do this legal research, they are so limited, and realize we are not the only ones who are also experiencing this. So what we did was we carried out a survey, and we had about 280 persons who participated in that, lawyers, founders, the general public. And what we realized is that people are also facing the same issues, and then we decided to solve that problem through the insights we got from the people who participated in the survey. And that was how we came about Case Radar. We used their insights to work on the features, built it, released it last year on the 27th of September, and onboarded a lot of people on the app who signed up. And then from their feedback while using the app, we went ahead to improve the app, and then we launched the Case Radar 2.0. So that was what inspired Case Radar, and look at where we are now.
That's amazing. So let's talk about how did the background knowledge gotten from law and entrepreneurship, how did those knowledge helped in shaping the future or the vision of this app called Case Radar?
So much, in so many ways. First of all, identifying a problem kind of brings up the idea that there needs to be a solution. So as entrepreneurs, we are always looking out for problems we can solve. That way it will help us shape what we are building and offer real solutions. So from our experience working with different crypto companies, building different businesses, we are bringing that knowledge into what we are building at Case Radar. And that's what is, powering what we are doing.
Anthony Mark, you guys are the co-founders of this app. So at what point did you guys realize that technology could offer scalable advantages when it comes to the legal aspect? Like now you talked about the problem that this app is helping solve right now. So at what point did you realize that we need to step up and do this?
So I mean, as a law student, one of the things you don't get to miss is doing legal research. You understand that from the training as a law student to becoming a lawyer, you always have to do research, right? So, and the process of research which we were exposed to while in the university was very rigorous. You go into the library with lots of books. You have to, skim through till you find what you're looking for and then use it for the purposes for which you found it. So when we passed through the system and through law school and became lawyers, part of the things that kept on ringing is, man, we face this and we need to solve this for the upcoming generation. I mean, we're not that old, but at least we can still solve problems for people that are coming and for ourselves because we're still lawyers. So we decided that, one of the things that takes up a lawyer's time is research. So I'm cutting down time for which a lawyer uses to do research will make the lawyer more efficient to serve the client better. So that's part of the things that, informed us to build Case Reader to help lawyers and to help people understand the law.
I would say you guys are doing a great job, and a lot of lawyers are still into that traditional practices of being a lawyer. At what point did you guys decide to say, okay, technology is advancing, we have AI, we have different digital content, and right now, when you don't put your content out there, people don't want to pay attention to what you're selling and all that. At what point did you decide to move from being a traditional lawyer and then you move into this tech space, this digital space, and then you created this app? This is a different thing entirely. Like it's new,
Yeah.
Yes. At what point did you?
So I mean, if you look at it, we are just playing catch up here in Nigeria and Africa at large, because most other regions and jurisdictions, UK, US, Canada, they already utilize these apps, right? So we discovered that in the wake of technological advancements, that even though our profession is very traditional in nature, we still need to, build up in terms of that advancement and help our people to catch up with others. So this particular legal tech, I mean, it's very trendy in the UK and in the US, and they have a lot of companies raising, humongous amount of money to build up tech products specifically for lawyers and for legal knowledge. So, and as lawyers, we do a lot of research, right? So we've checked into the legal system of other places, seen how they are thriving and, at least leaving the traditional baggage behind and trying to adopt more modern tools to help their lawyering. And we decided, I mean, our own people can also get into this. So, and that's why Case Reader is here.
Obinnaya, as a lawyer moving into entrepreneurship, what was the biggest mindset that gave you this confidence and then went into this startup of this legal tech app called Case Reader? Because a lot of people, when they're starting up, they have a different opinion running through their mind, doubts and all that. What was the biggest mindset shift for you that gave you that confidence, to start up this app?
I think the ability to recognize that you can do anything. You can become anything. You can look at the system, find loopholes, and find a way to bridge the gap, especially when you're solving problems, trying to make things easy for people and for ourselves as well. Because I'm a lawyer, I have clients, I use Case Reader, yes. So, just like I said, knowing that we can do anything legally, it kind of helped us realize that the things that people are doing in other climes, we can introduce it here and make our society better.
That's a very nice one. I know as co-founders, I believe that both of you have different challenges you faced while starting up this app. What are some of the challenges and how were you able to overcome such challenges?
One of the challenges was the fact that a lot of people are already too dependent on the traditional, method of legal practice. So trying to convince some of them feels like a Herculean task. However, it gives us joy that a lot of young lawyers, are already onboarded on our app and they're using our platform. Another challenge we faced was the issue of data, getting the right data to use and train our AI. But to the glory of God, we were able to surmount that. And right now, we've trained our app to the point where it is reliable, and accurate with regards to the information it gives.
Thank you so much. How did you fund the app from the start? When you're starting up, funding is a big problem. I've asked you on how you were able to get the biggest mind shift set. But right now, how are you able to fund it from the start? And what advice can you give to lawyers like who are still doing the traditional pattern of being a lawyer and they are looking forward to moving into the entrepreneurship tech like you already did? How are you able to fund from the start? And what advice would you give to people? Starting up, people are always very scared. Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to get funds? So how are you able to fund it? And advice we give to someone looking up to you and want to try a new thing just like you've started?
With regards to funding what we are building at K-Shader, we are bootstrapping. And, I won't say it has been easy, but it is exciting, to be honest. It is very, very exciting. Knowing that we can do this and that we are actually doing it. We are not wishing for it, you're not wishful. We're actually taking real actions. And with regards to the advice I would give to anyone out there who's looking up to us or trying to do something similar, just start. Start and put everything in God's hands. God is very, very important in what we are doing. And as far as you have a vision that people can key into, it will be much more easier for people to buy your idea and join you in what you are building.
Yeah, so I would like to add to that. If you would want to start or build a business, it is very advisable you have a source of income, no matter how minimal, right? It is going to help you in your building. This will also make you not to touch your business money. You have some people that are building, their business is making money and they're already using it, for some expenses. But when you have something that sustains you, it enables you to be able to, differentiate your money, one focusing on your business and one that can sustain your living. And if you're building, at no point should you try to be too extravagant if the need is not there, right? So we know that in businesses there is need to package, and to appear as if things are moving well when, maybe backstage you're taking a lot of hits. But, of course, it's a good thing to package, and I really advise people to don't show what you're going through. Like, always appear like you have a lot, no matter how small you have.
Thank you so much. We're going on a quick break, but we'll come back. It's still the topic from courtroom to case room. Stay with us. Welcome right back to the Startup Spotlight. We'll be looking at the topic from courtroom to codroom. And we'll be talking with the co-founders of Case Radar, Anthony Mark and Obinnaya. Moving on to the next question, what potential economic benefits does this have for small businesses? Let's talk about small businesses. We're looking at startup.
Yeah.
What potential economic benefit does Case Radar have for small businesses or undeserved communities?
It has a lot of potentials, beyond the economic view. For example, as a startup founder, you are supposed to carry on your business in accordance with the law. And it is obvious that a lot of Nigerians do not understand, basic rights, basic laws, and how it relates to their businesses. But with Case Reader, anyone, anywhere can easily get legal advice through our AI on how Nigerian law works with regards to their business. And with regards to undeserved communities, Case Reader allows anyone to connect with a lawyer anywhere, anytime. So let's say you are in a remote area and you have land disputes, for example, and you need to connect with a lawyer. You can easily use, Case Reader to connect with a lawyer. Let me give you an exclusive. So I think I came with, give me a moment. I came with our smart card, and this is the first time we are kind of doing a public test of this smart card. So this is something we give to every lawyer on Case Reader. And what it does is, instead of calling out your phone numbers or email address for someone whom you've met, you can easily tap this across their phone and your profile on Case Reader automatically appears. And right there, they can see your photo, your short bio, the area of specialization for the lawyer. They can see your email address, your phone number to easily connect with you, and a direct link to your LinkedIn profile. And this is like the first time this is being introduced in Nigerian legal industry. And what this does is that lawyers will not have to focus on serving their clients more strategically. There's more efficiency in law practice, as opposed to where a lawyer is trying to get clients and also serve clients. So it kind of helps people in undeserved communities to easily connect with lawyers, easily get legal advice, easily draft, summarize, and analyze all kinds of legal documents anywhere, anytime.
And how receptive have lawyers and other legal institutions been to adopting a legal tech solutions app like Case Reader?
It has been a 50-50 thing. I think the senior lawyers still have some kind of reservations. Yeah. However, the young lawyers whom have experienced the progress and promise of artificial intelligence and what technology can do generally, a lot of them use our platform, and that kind of gives us so much encouragement. I'm booked to speak at the MBA conference this year, and that is another way of showing how the MBA adopts what we are doing at Case Reader. So generally we'll not say we have all the endorsements, but we are getting there with the support we have so far.
So, and just to add to what he has said, it's not like the concerns of our senior lawyers are not, worth it, because there are cases of people using artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to make legal inquiries, and they end up getting cases that don't exist, right? And that is because of hallucination. So compared to Case Reader, what we've tried to do is to cut out the hallucinating part. So we'll make sure that on our platform, if such case is not available data on the platform, our artificial intelligence is simply going to tell you that it does not have sufficient knowledge to give you answer on this at this time, right? Maybe you can provide more context and it will be able to see if it has the information you need, but it will not hallucinate to provide you answers that are going to put you in trouble. So it is one of the concerns we've gotten from one of the senior advocates of Nigeria that we tried to pitch case reader to. So he was of the view that, AI gives fake cases. So, but we made a case for case reader. That hallucination is not part of what we do, because we understand that as a lawyer, there is need for your information to be very accurate. Accuracy is part of the things that we bring to the table. If we don't know it, we simply tell you the information is not here at the time. And we can always, from your feedback, provide whatever information should be there if the information you're, trying to get is actually something real and not, a forged case. Because in most cases, once you forge a case, it just tells you that this does not exist and it's not in our, system. So during the pitch to win event which we participated in, Chief tried to, demo case reader to one of the investors there, right? So, and one of the things he did was to ask for his name. What was his name again? John. So he asked him for his name, and then he put his name with his name and asked the AI what happened in that particular case. And he simply told him that, this case is not in my system and we don't think it exists, but, if you give more context, we can provide you with, what you're looking for. In most cases, an AI that is trained to hallucinate will just tell you, give you facts of the case, give you the decisions of the court, and every other thing that has to do with the case. So I think we've done a very good job, and we always encourage people to use case reader because there is efficiency in case reader.
Just to add to what he just said with regards to hallucination, because that is a very great, it's a great concern. We tried to also demo to one of the top law firms in Nigeria, and during the demo, one of the associates from the other end asked a fictitious case, and we didn't know it was a fictitious case. They were just trying to test the product, and it was on Google Meet, and he sent the citation, and we loaded it on our system and sent, and he just said this case does not exist. Okay. And it kind of wowed them. And that was when we realized it was actually a fictitious case. And then we took that same case and we asked it on ChatGPT. And ChatGPT said it's a Supreme Court case. So it goes ahead to show how AI, when it's not built for the legal industry, can cause havoc for the user.
And by the way, I was present at the pitch to win, and your pitch was amazing. The confidence was top notch.
Thank you so much.
Let's move on to some of the mistakes you made when starting out. When you're starting out blindly, you don't know what's in front of you. You're just taking the first step in hope and faith, just like you've been saying. What are some of the mistakes that you encountered at the start of the case reader app? And if you were to give in another chance, what would you do differently this time around?
I think at first we were so concerned with the branding. I was one who created the first logo for case reader. However, I knew it was not there. It was not the kind of thing we would use for a long term, but because we wanted to move very fast and launch, get into the market, we just used that particular logo. However, thanks to the amazing team we've built so far, we've come up with a better one. And I think the mistake there is the mistake of, always trying to focus on things that actually really do not, solve the problem. A logo won't solve the problem you're trying to solve, but then it's part of the mistakes. And right now we are learning to focus on the important things, which is making sure that user experience on the platform is perfect and that we are getting the app that we've built to more Nigerians so they can use it, because these are the people that actually need this solution.
Yeah, so to add to that, another thing is not waiting for a perfect time, right? So we were almost trying to, kind of decide on which time is perfect. Do we have the products in place, like all those kind of a thing? But at some point, Chief was like, let's just start this. And then we kicked off. So because when you kick off, no matter how rough it is, you get to learn and you get to build better. So for anyone who, wants to start off something, even though it's not perfectly shaped, just start. And then you will learn on the process. Thank you.
Quick one. In the next 4 to 5 years, where do we see Case Reader? Now it's just on the startup level. So in the next 5 years, what's the big picture for Case Reader?
By that time, we would have onboarded, let's say 20,000 users or more. We don't want to be too ambitious, but we are very, very optimistic, and we're also looking to expand into other countries as well. So, but right now we're focusing on Nigeria because this is the market we understand better. And once we are able to get, a large market share here, we would expand to other jurisdictions.
Before we wrap up the show, let me ask you this last question. Back then, this thing starts with an idea. How did you get the inspiration? It comes in your head before it comes to reality.
Yeah.
How did you get the idea? What inspired you? What thing did you see? I know you've talked about the challenges you faced while you were in law school that helped you channel your innovative mind towards this Case Reader, rather to say. So what inspired you? What was the main thing that inspired you to start up the Case Reader? And also an advice to someone that already has an idea to do something, but they are scared to take this step, moving towards the direction.
I think I like to stand out, and while I was still a diploma student, in Unizik, where I also happened to come out as the 26th Chief Justice of the Union, I realized that there is this Latin maxim. It's just very short. Lawyer qua lawyer. It means a lawyer of lawyers. And if you look at the legal industry, you realize that every year over 5,000 lawyers are called to the bar. So how do you distinguish yourself? How do you solve the problem that most of these lawyers are facing, like employment? This year, about 7,000 lawyers were called to the bar, and you realize that law firms are not going to hire all of them. So where do they go to? So these are the problems we are trying to solve through Case Reader, providing solutions for our colleagues and standing out while doing it, being an inspiration to them, making them realize they can do anything they want to do with their career. They can become anything they want to become. So that is what inspired us. And the truth is that it has always been in my head, to the point where when we are trying to design the first user interface for Case Reader, I called a friend of mine, Cody, and she designed something, but it didn't resonate with me. And I was telling her this is not it. So when she couldn't come up with something I wanted, I went to YouTube, learned Figma, how to use Figma, and I designed the first concept for Case Reader. I learned Figma in less than 2 weeks, funny as that was, and I had to design it. Although I'm not a professional in that, we didn't use what I designed as the final product. We just used it as a wireframe, more like an inspiration. This is the way it should be. And then we brought in professionals who came in and, elevated it to what we have right now. So here we are.
Thank you so much, Obinnaya and Anthony Mark, for joining us today on this amazing episode of Startup Spotlight. It's our pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Glory, for having us.
Thank you.
And that's where we wrap up the Startup Spotlight for this week. Remember, your startup journey could be our next spotlight. My name is Glory Brown. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. Stay tuned and keep watching BDTV.